If you were to put a voice to not trusting yourself, what would it say? Should I practice this way or should I practice that way? Should I be in this relationship or should I not be in this relationship? Should I say yes to this job over this job or should I say no to this job? What is the right practice? Am I doing it right? Should I do shadow work or should I do self-inquiry? Should I say this to my stepchild or my daughter or my son or should I leave it? These are the sorts of questions that sort of have come up for me in my practice. And I just want to speak to learning to trust ourselves and what that's been like for me and how critical it can be. I'll talk about the mechanics of it, like what's actually going on, relating it to my own experience, and I think more globally to other people, because these are archetypes. These are shadow life forms that exist in many humans. And walking the middle way of trusting ourselves and also still being receptive to people outside of ourselves as well. So for me, not trusting really means that, if I reflect on my experience, having gone through like a self-improvement phase of, I was playing video games for 10 hours a day, and I had this sense of like, Sam is broken, I was really anxious, I was socially anxious, and I had all these issues growing up. So I turned to things like self-improvement and self-help and eventually spirituality to ultimately resolve a lot of these long-lasting fixations that were conjured up by my own mind. We're our own worst enemy, and that was the case for me, and my ego was really punishing me. So you turn to things like self-improvement, but immediately what is happening there is the underlying narrative beneath that is, I am not enough. The way that I am right now is bad, and I need to fix it a lot of the time if we really get honest with ourselves and for that unconscious motive. So that's shame and doubt within ourselves. So we look to other people, teachers. We might put a Ramana Maharishi picture on our wall, or like me, I've got all the self-help gurus that I've looked up to in the past that I've drawn, like Jordan Peterson, Ryan Holiday, Sam Harris, Joseph Goldstein, Jocko Willink, Jordan Peterson, and more. And read all the books, and like that, you can see that Vipassana book behind me, and right there, so like Tim Ferriss, Tribe of Mentors, these sorts of things. So just all the things we do is we look outward, basically. The feeling is I'm not enough, the way that I am, and trusting rightfully so that we could be doing something better, and we humble ourselves enough to turn outward and look to other people who appear to be happier or have it together more, and like we draw from them and we learn things and we start to feel a bit better. And yet we still not looking at fundamentally the underlying belief and core mechanism that I'm not enough. So we're building a house of cards on top of this I'm not enough belief, like things that make us feel good temporarily, yet we still feel like worthless, humiliated, like we need to be constantly seeking for something. I speak from experience. This is what this self-help and spiritual journey has been like for me in many respects, until maybe like the last couple of years where I've really started to trust myself. Even the past year, very much so. It's like a hockey stick. You slowly build trust. But the core thing we're doing is we're looking out and we're looking to other people. I just had a shower, so I'm a bit hot. We're looking to other people to fix us. Like, that teaching from Gangaji, that will fix me. Or that teaching from Sam Harris, that will fix me. Or that, Jordan Peterson thing, what he said about cleaning your room. Clean your room! That will fix me. So it's subtle, but what we're doing is while we're doing that, and while we are trusting that there is a better way to live our lives, we're simultaneously building a narrative that I don't trust myself. And we have things like YouTube and all sorts of mediums online now, like TikTok, Instagram, with all these like inspirational quotes and stuff that basically, we develop a relationship with looking outward, external to our own hearts and our deepest truth as to how we should live our lives. Like, we watch Mel Robbins and she gives us some advice, and then we get addicted to it. Like, I got to keep coming back to Mel Robbins, or I've got to keep coming back to, I don't know, even me, like if you're watching my channel, to get that honeysuckle thing that will finally give me ease, relief from this restlessness. And look, there is this like harmonious dance that we can play where we're humble enough to recognize that maybe somebody has something important to say to bring us back to our true essence. And that's why I'm so grateful for teachers like Angelo DeLulo or my current facilitator, Violet, who point me and have pointed many others back to trusting themselves. So we can develop this relationship where we're still like, consuming content, but we have this awareness that basically is saying, oh, okay, they said this. Like, this really wise teacher said this. But, like, what do I think? How does that relate for me? Does that land for me? Do I feel that at a heart level? And beyond that, trusting ourselves, it's also developing a relationship, in my experience, with our true nature, like who we really are. When we let go of all concept, all belief, all mechanisms of who we take ourselves to be. Like, Sam is this person, he shows up this way in the world, and he acts this way, and he works this job, and he's never going to leave this job. And, but if we let go of all concept of identity, of like who we think we are, and then we act from that place of unknowing and just continuously deepening that trust in life, in ourselves, then that starts to build momentum. It starts to build confidence, I think, where no longer we're like reaching out for the person to fix us, even the most like amazing teacher, but we start to like lean in more and more to our own experience, where it's like, you know what, that teacher, that person that has been doing energy work on me, or that self-help guru that I heard, they said this really smart thing. And yet I'm the master of my own journey, and I'm learning to trust life more and more by, having some shifts in my experience and letting go of who I take myself to be, that I can now trust myself to do what this is my life. You pull out existentially. We don't want to have people telling us how we're going to live our lives for the rest of our lives, right? We're going to die one day. And if we lean on someone's shoulder and use gurus or self-help people as a crutch, and we don't start trusting ourselves and living our own fucking lives, then we're going to do that forever. Even like really spiritual people have been practicing for 20 years. Like, we've got Ramana Maharishi, portraits hanging on the wall as if they're going to save us. And we like pray to them every night. And while we can still be humble and have humility to like be like, yeah, this guy realized something really profound, but you're still attuning to like our deep instincts and our own intuition rather than trusting other people. And mechanistically, from a shadow point, I've already talked about what I think that really is we start distrusting ourselves, which comes from a feeling of not enough. And also but also for me, it's come out as things like this. So say I'm in like a one-on-one consult with a teacher who's doing a guided non-dual meditation inquiry or something with me. The energy that I'm bringing into that conversation is something like, they have something that I don't. And you can feel it in the body. And somatic inquiry really helps with this, actually, I think, to bring that out and see it for what it is. But it's something like, I don't trust myself. What they have to say is more important. I don't know. I'm broken. Whatever actually aligns for you. But yeah, learning to see that, and while also like seeing the shadow and leaning in more and more while still being humble to listen and be receptive to teachings and pointers from other people. That's this beautiful dance, I think, that we can walk to trust life more. And I'll just speak from direct experience. Learning to trust that more it just like opens up this richness to life where there's not this like holding back as much anymore, because you feel like you've got your back. You know, like you're living on your own terms, you know, without hopefully harming other people. Although maybe you'll have to do things if you trust yourself deeply enough, like break off from a relationship that you've been holding and forming your identity around for so long. But you know what, man? You trust yourself now. And you know that life's got your back. And you'll be okay. And it's going to be for the better. So it's scary. Learning to trust ourselves is like challenging all of what we know about ourselves, our tight little identities that we hold on to, like, because they give us safety, they give us love. Of course we hold on to them, but that letting go and that trust that comes from that, and that like richness, and like, what a fucking journey. Like, we're going on this wild journey, you know, like it's a roller coaster of life or something. Yeah. I'll leave it at that. I won't ramble. Like the video if you found value, it helps other people find it. And yeah, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment if you find this, if there's something interesting you want to point out. Yeah. All that shit. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.